Hey, this is Jim with Dieselgeek, and today we're going to install and adjust the Sigma 5 shifter for the O2J transmission. This is the 2021 version that went on sale in January of 2021. So the first step that you're going to do is you're going to install the front to back bracket, and this is the front to back bracket with our new nut bar. And you're going to find on the transmission two joined splines, and that's right here. There's just two teeth that are joined together, and so it's right here, and that's the most important little thing, and it lines up with this little mark right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide the cable end onto the cable like this, and you need to make sure that this slides on evenly, that it doesn't hang up, because you can't get a good adjustment if it hangs up. So there is a spreading mechanism built in here that can spread it open a little bit to make it slide over there easily, but on a Mk4 you're probably not going to have to mess with that because they almost always work perfectly. So once you've slid that on and you've located the keyway on the shaft and the keyway on the front to back bracket, you're going to put that down and line it up, and then it's going to go down like that. And once you've done that, you take the 8mm nut, which is 13mm lands, and thread it on to the selector shaft like that. And then you're going to take a 13mm socket, and I have just a wrench here, but a 13mm socket most likely, and you're going to tighten this, but you're not going to go crazy with it. It has a lock washer built into it, and you don't want to go nuts with it because you don't want to snap this off. So once you've done that, you can rotate it back into neutral, and in neutral it bounces up and down. So once you have that on, you can go to the side to side. The side to side is right here. So you're going to take the shiny metal clip off the pivot axle, and you're going to take the two gray bushings off of the side to side, and you're going to install them in the pivot tube on the transmission like that and like this. So once those are in, you're good there. And then you're going to slip the pivot axle into the bushings like that and go in and engage the shifter cable with the cable end like that. And once you're engaged, you can push the cable, push the selector shaft, the side to side bracket toward the driver's side of the car, and then make it engage, the slider engage the front to back bracket with 5-speed top pointing up like that. So once that's like that, then you can take the shiny metal clip that you took off before and slip it in the groove on the end of the pivot axle until it clicks like that, and then it won't come out. So now the shifter is installed. After installing the shifter, we're going to adjust the shifter. And so we're going to push down in neutral. This is neutral. Neutral makes it's free to move up and down. So you can go either way, but in neutral these two will line up and the selector shaft will go up and down. So you're going to push down about 1/2 inch, and then you're going to rotate this plastic locking pin clockwise and up. Once it gets to the right height, it'll go in and then rotate up, and then you've locked the transmission into the home position. So this whole process, what we're trying to do is we're trying to set the length of the shift cables. The shift cables have to be the right length in order for the shifter to work correctly, and that's what this process is. So you lock this mechanism into home, and then we're going to lock the mechanism inside the car into the home position. So once this is locked into home, we're going to go inside the car. We're going to lift up the shift boot, and then we're going to take our 5mm locking pin. We're going to go down through the top hole, which is on the shifter itself, and then we're going to move the shifter until it lines up with the bottom hole, and we're going to push it down until it stops. Now this is locked into the home position here. So once we've done that, we're going to go back into the engine bay, and we're going to push down on the front to back bracket just slightly like this. Just push down on it. And then we're going to rotate the knurled ring on the side-to-side cable end clockwise, or counterclockwise, sorry, until it snaps backward. And so now this is adjusted correctly. This is the most important part of the adjustment, is the side-to-side bracket. So once that's done, the side-to-side's done, and the very last step is to go ahead and clamp the front-to-back cable end onto the front-to-back cable. So we're going to take our 4mm or 5/32 Allen socket. We're going to start tightening the screws just a little by little. We're not going to try to tighten it all at once. We're just going to little by little. You tighten it down, and then you work back and forth like that. you're just getting a little bit at a time and moving on to the next one in line, and then back and back and back. And so we're just trying to get a little bit like that. And just tighten it. And it'll once it gets close to fully tightened, it'll start to tell you, you'll start to feel that there's not much more that can be had, that can be gotten out of trying to tighten it more. And once you've done that, then it's done. But again, don't try to get too much at a time, because it just doesn't work well that way. You need to do just a little bit at a time, like this. And I can feel that that one is really pretty close. And I like to use a 1/4 inch ratchet because it keeps you from, it gives you better feel than a 3/8 inch ratchet. You can use a hand wrench, Allen wrench, but I really don't recommend it. I really, Home Depot or Lowe's, they have 5mm or 5/32 Allen sockets for cheap. So once you've done that, you've tightened all these down, you can unlock the transmission. And so you push down on this selector shaft and then rotate counterclockwise, and then this comes out. And once that's out, then you can go back inside the car and take the bent pin, the 5mm pin, out. And so what you're going to do is you're going to check first and second gear. So you're going to push it over to the left, and then you're going to go into first and then into second. And then if it engages smoothly, first and second engages smoothly, then the shifter is adjusted correctly. You can check reverse as well. Reverse is all the way down. But first and second are the most important ones to have correct. First, that's reverse actually. This is first and that's second. So once that's done, the shifter is adjusted correctly and you're done with the install.